Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your May 2018 Astro Update. It's Rena here, your fellow Sagittarian, going through the month of May, which is very action-packed. And the big news for you is a lot of sixth house activity. Hopefully I said sixth. And the sixth house deals with health and your daily routine. And I think it's kind of funny to talk about daily routines because what does that even mean? Well, just how you organize your day. I guess if you work from home like I do, this becomes more important because you have the option, the freedom to kind of design your day however you want it. But if you're not a naturally organized person, you can really fritter away a lot of time and not be productive. And so I certainly have experienced that myself, where I just kind of let everything happen as it will. And you don't realize all the things that you need to get done, and they become you become very scattered when you're like that. And you can be a lot more productive if you know exactly what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Of course, you do have to be flexible either way, because you can't just assume that life is going to unfold perfectly. Sometimes things do come up. So you may be like dealing with this. Maybe you're going to create the ideal work schedule for you if you work from home. But by the way, even if you work a 9-to-5 job, I'm sure there are a lot of people who still would like to do certain things. Maybe you want to go to yoga. Maybe you want to spend more time with your children. And you feel like you're kind of hemmed in because you only have so many hours during the day. But you can still work with that and find a way that makes it easier for you to get that extra time. Maybe it involves getting up earlier in the morning. Maybe it involves letting go of watching television, if that's what you do, and spending more time with your children because of that. So where there's a will, there's a way. I believe that. But the sixth house is also about health, so you may be devising a health routine that is good for you. You may be dealing with issues surrounding the work that you do. I'll get to that in a second because there's a very exciting development on that front. Let's just start with some of the first transits. Mercury goes out of its shadow on May 3rd, and this is in Aries. So Mercury gets back up to full strength is basically what that means. This last Mercury retrograde took place in your fifth house, which deals with love and creativity. So it is possible that a new relationship somehow fell off the rails some way, or maybe there was just some kind of miscommunication. Or maybe it's possible that somebody that you had been dating got a job assignment out of the country and you were not able to communicate with them the way that you had been before. But things should get back to normal. If there's a misunderstanding, you'll get that sorted out. And on the 13th, Mercury then goes into that sixth house of health. And Mercury is actually the ruler of the sixth house. It rules the third house in Gemini, but it also rules the sixth house with Virgo. And so Mercury can deal with diet. There may be research that you're doing about your health, or perhaps there's some communication with a place of employment and you're getting matters sorted out. Mercury can be contracts, so you may be or even any kind of paperwork. So maybe you're filling out an application, maybe you're agreeing to work at a certain place. A couple of days later, this is what I was talking about that is kind of an exciting development. Uranus goes into this sector. Now, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and it is associated with things that are very out of the box, very unique. Sometimes it's unexpected things or erratic, unpredictable kind of events occurring. It's an energy that cannot be contained in a conventional sort of way. So anything that's rebellious, anything that's revolutionary falls into that category for Uranus, describing Uranus. And we're talking about the sixth house, but in Taurus, Taurus being an earth sign, it is a sign that is very grounded, Taurus. So for Uranus to now be in Taurus, it is a strange combination. I personally feel that it is a good combination because it shakes things up. Anything that's Taurus related, which, Taurus is an earth sign, and in the earth house, we're dealing with practical matters, but Uranus can make it so that, for instance, maybe during the next 7 years, when this transit is in Taurus, in your sixth house, you may be experiencing the kind of job that is like a digital nomad. Uranus is about electronics and things like that, so you may be working from a computer and you're not tied to a particular location. It could involve doing kind of unusual occupations, or occupations like astrology is connected to the planet, to Aquarius, and that psychic ability, anything that is, I would say, intuitive or simply unconventional. So doing like, I would even say like Reiki, energy healing could be here, because the sixth house is health, but the methods with Uranus are going to be unconventional types of healing modalities. So that can be an influence for you for the next 7 years. Also, anything involving looking at work itself in a totally different way, a revolutionary way. So if you're the type of Sagittarian who maybe you have a lot of Capricorn in you and you think a 40-hour work week is, what is considered respectable, hardworking, and so on and so forth, you may stretch your boundaries of what your concept of work is in the first place. And that can affect you profoundly, because this is an area of life that, for adults is a big deal, our attitude towards work. And on the very same day that Uranus goes into Taurus, we have a new moon in Taurus at 24 degrees. So it's almost like the universe kind of underlining or underscoring the fact that it's a new day when it comes to your work, Sagittarius. And the thing about Uranus, I wanted to also include here, is that it really wants to be nonconformist. It doesn't want to be cookie cutter. So some Sagittarians may find that they want to work on their own terms. So there's a sense of independence, freedom, and they want to do work that really expresses their individuality. Or do something, along those lines, where you're not doing what other people want you to do. You're kind of approaching work from a unique perspective and wanting that freedom, which Sagittarius is totally down for, because Aquarius and Sagittarius get along famously for that very reason. They both are signs that respect individuality and freedom. The very next day, Mars goes into Aquarius. Speak of the devil. Well, speak of the angels that are Aquarians. And this is in the third house of communication, which is a very compatible house for Aquarius, as Gemini rules this in the universal chart, and Aquarius is a fellow air sign. So Aquarius likes to communicate too. So Mars in Aquarius is about being very driven to communicate. If you're somebody like me and you have a YouTube channel, you have an online business, it's a no-brainer. It's something that you're doing anyway, but maybe you're going to up the ante. But for some people, some Sagittarians, this may be you pushing to start an online business, to start a blog, to start a YouTube channel. You feel driven to do it at this time, and that might be a project of yours. It can indicate that there is some kind of conflict with siblings or with neighbors. So be on the lookout for that, because Mars in a particular house may tell you that you need to tone things down because you're feeling extra aggressive. On the 19th, Venus goes into Cancer. This is in the 8th house of shared resources. Venus can bring money, so you may receive money maybe as a gift, as some kind of a payout that relates to anything that doesn't involve the money that you earned from the work that you do. So that can be nice, including wills. It can mean that you are really connecting with your partner at the deepest level. 8th house is intimacy. Now, the first portion of the month, over 2 weeks, Venus is in the 7th house of committed partnership. So May can be a good period of time for committed Sagittarians in general. The sun goes into your opposite sign on the 20th in Gemini, and this can indicate that you are very romantic. You're very much connected to your partner. On the 29th, Mercury goes into the 7th house as well. So again, this is more indication that Sagittarians are really having a good time with their significant other. You're talking really, maybe extensively, really gaining that sense of a meeting of the minds. And on the same day, there's a full moon in the 1st house. So that's in Sagittarius. So all of us born in the sign of Sagittarius may be leaving certain aspects of ourself or ourselves behind. And I think that for some people, this does involve a significant other as well. Remember, at the time of a full moon, the sun is in the opposite sign, in the opposite house. So it's like, I feel like I need to let go of certain aspects of myself in order to more deeply connect with my partner. Because, with Venus in the 8th house, you may realize that you need to kind of work on some aspects of yourself. Maybe you identify with having been, having a broken heart multiple times, Sagittarius, and maybe that has left you a bit guarded. And you realize, I need to let go of that story. Because, yeah, it did happen. Yeah, it did hurt, but it's over with. And now it's a new day. I can present myself as somebody who is lucky in love, is successful, is confident that I have found my soulmate or that I can find my soulmate. Okay, Sagittarius, that's what I have for you. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. And if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. My website is rainamoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.